The salt air tasted like adventure on Elara's lips. She was 7, and the cove was her secret kingdom. It wasn't much, just a crescent of white sand, guarded by jagged black rocks, hidden from the main beach by a treacherous path only a small, sure-footed child would dare. But to Elara, it was everything. That afternoon, she was hunting for sea glass. Not the common green or white, but the rare magical blue, the color of a summer sky at midnight. She was on her hands and knees, sifting through pebbles and seaweed, when she heard it. Not a seagull's cry, nor the crash of the waves. It was a soft, melodic sound, like a sigh woven from whale song and wind chimes. It was followed by a frantic, wet slapping. Elara crept closer, her heart a tiny drum against her ribs. Behind the largest rock, in a shallow tidal pool, was a girl, but not a girl. From the waist up, she was the most beautiful person Elara had ever seen. Her skin was the pale, shimmering grey of a moonstone, and her hair flowed around her shoulders like a spill of liquid silver. Her eyes, wide with panic, were the deep, shifting green of the ocean depths. A powerful iridescent tail, the colour of abalone shell, flecked with gold and rose, beat helplessly against the rock. It was trapped, tangled in a mess of discarded fishing net, the cruel green threads biting into the delicate scales. She was a mermaid, a real, actual mermaid. The mermaid saw her and froze, a terrified whimper escaping her lips. She tried to shrink back, but the net held her fast. Elara's fear melted away, replaced by a fierce, swelling protectiveness. This wasn't a monster from a storybook. This was a creature in pain. "It's okay," Elara whispered, her voice small against the roar of the sea. She held her empty hands up, showing she had no sharp rocks, no hook, no net of her own. "I won't hurt you." She took a slow step forward, then another. The mermaid watched her, those ancient green eyes filled with a fear so profound, it made Elara's throat tight. She remembered the time she'd found a seagull, with its wing caught in plastic, how it had looked at her with that same wild terror. "You're stuck," Elara said, kneeling at the edge of the pool. The water was cold. She pointed to the net, then mimed pulling it apart. "I can help." The mermaid stopped struggling. She looked from Elara's face to her small, determined hands. A silent understanding passed between them. A thread of trust spun across the vast, impossible divide of their worlds. Elara got to work. The net was tough and slippery, tangled in a complex knot around the powerful tail. The scales were smooth and cool under her fingers. She pulled and picked. Her tongue stuck out in concentration, ignoring the chill seeping into her bones. Once, she tugged too hard, and the mermaid flinched, a sound like a cracked bell escaping her. "Sorry," Elara murmured. "I'm so sorry." She was more careful after that, working with a patience she didn't know she possessed. The sun began to dip towards the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Finally, with one last stubborn pull, the net came loose. The mermaid's tail flexed, free. She swished it experimentally in the water, the powerful muscles rippling, and a sound of pure relief left her lips. A sound like the gentle ringing of a crystal glass. She looked at Elara, and the fear was gone. In its place was a curiosity as deep as the sea, and a gratitude that shone brighter than the emerging stars. She reached out a hand. Her fingers were long and slender, with a faint webbing between them. Hesitantly, Elara reached out her own small sandy hand. Their fingers touched. The mermaid's skin was cool and smooth, and for a fleeting second, Elara felt a rush of strange, wonderful images in her mind. Vast coral cities, the shimmering silver of a herring shoal, the haunting song of a humpback whale traveling for miles through the dark water. It was a thank you, a gift, a secret Then with a powerful push of her tail, the mermaid slid off the rock and into the deeper water of the cove. She turned back one last time, her silver hair fanning out around her like a halo. She smiled, a beautiful, mysterious smile, and then she was gone. A flash of iridescent tail disappearing beneath a wave. Elara sat on the cold sand, her wet clothes clinging to her, and stared at the empty sea. In her hand, she realized she was clutching something. It wasn't blue sea glass. It was a single, perfect scale, no bigger than her thumbnail. It held all the colors of the sunset and the ocean, shifting and changing in the fading light. She never found her rare blue sea glass. And she never told anyone about the mermaid. Not her parents, not her best friend. Some secrets are too vast and too fragile for words. They are meant to be kept in the heart, like a treasure chest at the bottom of the sea. But every evening after that, Elara would go to her secret cove and look out at the waves. And sometimes, just as the sun melted into the water, she would see a flash of silver, a flicker of a rose gold tail, and hear a distant, melodic sigh on the wind. It was a hello. It was a remember. It was a story that belonged only to her, a little girl who once found a mermaid, and in doing so, found a little magic forever. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.